It's my first time ever making a screencastify, so we're gonna see how this goes. Alright, so what we're looking at today is I want to teach you about how we can graph parabolas using our graphing calculator. So yesterday I had you download your calculator if you had a Chromebook. So if you have that, now would be a good time to grab that up. If you don't have access to a graphing calculator, that is okay. You're going to use Desmos for this. So now would be a time for you to pull up Desmos if you do not have a graphing calculator. So what we're going to do is you're going to see this assignment attached on Google Classroom. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over the first two with this video, and then you're going to try the last 6 on your own. Okay, so that being said, let's get right to it. So for each quadratic equation, fill in the information asked and sketch the parabola. So first thing that we need to do is we're going to need to graph it. So we're going to need to take our equation, and we're either going to need to plug it into Desmos or into our calculator. If you have a calculator, please use the calculator, because this is going to be a great skill for you to know on the SAT or ACT. So with that being said, let's plug it in. So how we do that on a calculator is there's this y equals button right here. It's in the top left corner of our calculator. We're going to hit that. And when we do, we're going to get a screen like this that gives us a bunch of options to enter equations. So once we have that, we're going to enter our equation. We're going to enter x squared minus 2x minus 6. And once we've entered it, we're going to hit graph. Okay, and boom, we're going to have our parabola. Now, your parabola may look a little different, and that's fine. It's probably because of your window. So I want to briefly go over what the window is. So right next to where we clicked y equals, there's this button that says window. Okay, what the window is going to do, it's going to ask for an x min and an x max, and basically what that is your x min is going to be over here, right? Can you see my mouse? I hope you can. It's like the far point of the x min, and the x max is going to be the far right point of your x-axis, and it's going to be the same for the y. Your y min, your y max. So we're just going to adjust that. This is perfect. I recommend setting your window to this: -10, 10, 1. The scale basically means every line is an increment of 1 and not anything more than that. Then the y min will be -10 and 10. So that's good. We're going to go back to graph. So what we can do, we can, over here, we can write down our window. It's -10. Max was 10. Our scale was 1. Our y min is -10. Our y max was 10. Our scale was 1. You should do this based on what you have in your window right here. So once again, how we got there was if we click right next to the y equals, there's this window button. We're going to click there, and we're going to write down what we have here. Okay, so now we have a graph. What we need to do now is we need to find this vertex. Okay, the vertex is either the minimum, so the lowest point, or the maximum, the highest point. It's wherever it kind of use. So it's going to be here for us. For right now, we're going to figure out how to do this with our calculator. In the future, I'm going to teach you how to do this without a calculator. We're going to have to know how to do both. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit second, the blue button, and then trace. It's really the calc. So second and then calc. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to calculate, and they give us some options. Value, 0, minimum, maximum. So based on our graph, we can see that we're looking for the minimum. It's going to be right here. So we're going to go down to 3, and we're going to hit minimum. We're going to hit enter. Okay? Then the calculator is going to ask us for left bound and right bound. Basically what this means here is it wants us to pick the left side of where we think our point is, and then the right side of where we think our point is, and then it's going to ask us to guess. So we think our point is it's the lowest point in the parabola, so it's about right here. So we just want to be somewhere on the left side. So you can see my mouse. That's definitely on the left side of our point right here. So left bound, good there, boom. Right bound, okay, needs to be on the right side. So over here is definitely the right side. Boom, and then we're going to go to our guess. Our guess, we want to get as close as possible to where we think it is. I think that's pretty dang close, so I'm going to choose that as my guess. And when we do this, watch what's going to happen. Boom. It's going to tell us, saying our x value at our minimum is 0.999998889. So really that rounds to 1. And then our y is negative 7. So we found our vertex. Okay. Our vertex is negative 1, negative 7. Okay. Next, we need to find our y-intercepts and our x-intercepts. So just a rule of thumb, when we are in this form, our y-intercept is always going to be our c value. So here, our y-intercept is just going to be negative 6. Okay? If we wanted to find, okay, yeah, so we're just going to use that c value to find our y-intercept. Okay? So next we need to find is our x-intercept. If we go back to our graphs, we're going to hit graph. Our x-intercepts are also called our zeros. Right? Our x-intercepts are here and here. Okay? There are zeros because at these points, y equals 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit second calc, just like we did for the minimum, but then we're going to hit 0 instead of minimum or maximum. So we're going to do that. Boom. And it's going to ask for left bound, right bound. So once again, this relates to the point. So we need to pick the left side of our point. So we want that left side of our x-intercept. So this is on the left side. It's on the left side compared to the x-axis. So we know on our x-axis, our guess would be about here. So right here, where it's blinking, would be our good left bound. So left bound, boom. We're going to go over and do right bound, boom. And we're going to take our guess. And it's going to give us our 0, our x-intercept, our first x-intercept. So we have one at negative 1.646. And then we need to find our second one. We're going to do this by doing the same thing we just did. We're going to hit second calc. We're going to go down to 0, hit enter, and then we're going to pick the left side of it. Which is about right there. We're going to go up a couple so we can get to the right side of it. That is the right side. Come on now. Oh, I think my calculator's frozen. It is. That's not good. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Here, bear with me. I'm going to delete it and reopen it. Something weird's happening with my computer. Alright, right bound. We're back to where we were. So like this, that. So right bound is on the right side. And enter. Enter. I don't know why it's not liking this. It's freezing again. Alright. Something is definitely going wrong with my calculator app. Hoping you guys are having better luck. It should work the same way as it did before. Okay, now it's asking for my guess. So we're going to guess. There. Oh, and it finally gave it to us. Woo! Sorry about that. So our guess is about right here, which is 3.646. I hope that you're pausing this video periodically so that you're staying with me pace-wise and you're not getting too far ahead or too far behind. So we have our 2 zeros. Now we're going to be asked to interpret, okay? So what you should do, pause, is give a quick sketch of this. So we know, what do I want? I want to go here. Let me grab this. smart ink. All right, so we know our vertex. We're gonna sketch it, okay? So we know our vertex is at, it shouldn't be -1, it should be +1. That was a mistake on my part. I hope you guys caught that. Okay, so we're gonna use some smart ink, and now we know our vertex is at 1, -7. So 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this point right here, oh man, this is tough to do with a mouse. So right there, we're going to pretend like that little U thing didn't happen. Then we know our y-intercept is -6, so right there. Then our x-intercept is -1.646, so about right there. 3.646, so 1, 2, 3, right there. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick sketch, and we're just going to try to go through all of these points. So I'm going to give it my best shot with the mouse. It's going to go like this. It's a little rough. Mine's a little pointy looking. This shouldn't be more of a U, but it does the job with the sketch. So there's our sketch. I hope with a pencil it comes out much cleaner. So with that being said, now we need to interpret it. So let's do that. Let's get out of here, get our mouse back. Okay. So for the domain, it's asking for all possible x values. So this parabola is going to go on and on forever in both directions. So it'll hit. It's going to go on and on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So eventually it's going to hit every x-axis, or every x point this way. It's going to do the same thing this way too. It's going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. So it's going to keep going this way. So our domain is going to be from -infinity to infinity. Okay? We've seen that before. Now, in the past, our range has always been that too. But for parabolas, we got to be careful, because we get to a point to where we stop getting y's, either up here or down here. So if we look here, we can get any y because these go up forever, so we can get any y as we go down until we get to, boom, our vertex here. We can't get a y below our vertex because our parabola stops here at u's and it starts going back up. So it's from this point up in terms of y. So it's going to be from -7, because our y and our vertex is -7, all the way up to infinity. That would be our range. So from -7 to infinity. Okay? Now it's looking for when is f of x less than 0, or when is y less than 0. Okay? Well, I like to shade when it is less than or greater than 0. Less than is going to be kind of right here, right? Because it starts at this point. Our y is positive up here, and it's 0 at our 0 point, and then in this u is where it's less than. So in this little area, oh, not that area, in between our function, so in here, so between our x-intercepts. So it's going to be from -1.646 to 3.646. Okay? Going to be equal to 0 at our x-intercepts, so at any square brackets, because this number is included, -1.646 bracket and 3.646 square bracket. Because it's these 2 points right here. Okay? Where it's greater than 0 is from this point forever this way, because these arrows are going to go up forever, So it also means it's going to go over forever, right? In terms of x, so it's going to be greater than 0 from negative infinity to this point, and then from this point forever in this direction. So it's going to be 2 intervals. So it's going to be greater than 0 from negative infinity to negative 1.646 and from 3.646 to infinity. We need our parentheses. Okay? I did that. Okay. And finally, we need, when is it increasing, when is it decreasing? So as we go left to right, what is our parabola doing? So as we go left to right here, we're going down, right? We're going down from forever to the left all the way until our vertex point. And the x value of our vertex is negative 1, okay? And all these intervals are in terms of x other than range. Range is in terms of y. So f of x is increasing. We're going to do decreasing first because that's what our line's doing to start. It's from negative infinity, right? Because it's going to go down all the way to our vertex point. And our vertex point is 1. So it's decreasing from negative infinity to negative, not negative, to 1. Okay? Because it's decreasing. Our parabola is going down until we get to this point of 1. Then once we get to this point of 1, we start to rise again. So that's where it would start increasing. So it would be increasing from 1 to infinity. Okay? So that's how we're going to do these. I know that these are brand new and they're going to be challenging, especially with the interpretation. But today is really an introduction. We're going to be doing this all next week. So don't be stressed if you're not totally sure about all of this yet. Just try your best. And if you have questions, please reach out and ask me. All right. So that's going to do it for today. I want you to try these next couple. I need to get rid of that smart ink thing. So if you have questions, please reach out and good luck. And I'll see you all very soon. All right. Bye, everybody.